Your body is decomposing right now. Not dramatically, not visibly, but it's happening. Every second you sit here watching this, cells are dying, proteins are breaking down, and something inside you is quietly failing. And the strangest part? You probably didn't think about that until I just said it. This isn't a video about being depressed or giving up. It's about something we've all agreed to ignore, even though it's the only thing that's absolutely guaranteed. No exceptions, no negotiations, no workarounds. We spend our entire lives building elaborate systems to avoid thinking about it. And today, we're going to look directly at what happens when you stop pretending. Because here's the thing. Once you actually understand what you're dealing with, everything changes. Not in some mystical self-help way, in a real, practical, almost relieving way. So stay with me, because what you're about to hear isn't designed to comfort you, it's designed to be honest. And sometimes, that's more valuable. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. You've probably heard this phrase at a funeral, maybe in a movie, definitely somewhere religious. Most people think it's just poetic language, beautiful words to make death feel meaningful. It's not. It's biochemistry wrapped in old sentences. Every single atom in your body, the calcium in your bones, the iron in your blood, the carbon holding your DNA together, all of it will scatter. Not eventually, not theoretically, it will actually happen. The carbon becomes part of soil, the nitrogen feeds bacteria, the hydrogen returns to water. This isn't philosophy class. This is what literally occurs when organic matter stops organizing itself. Your body contains about 65% oxygen, 18% carbon, 10% hydrogen, plus bits of nitrogen, calcium, phosphorus. Right now, those elements are arranged in this incredibly complex system called you. Later, they won't be. They'll be redistributed, recycled, used by something else. The universe doesn't waste material. So, naturally, humans try everything possible to escape this. We change countries thinking geography matters. We change our bodies at the gym like muscle mass creates permanence. We adopt new belief systems, new identities, new names. We stack money in accounts as if numbers on a screen build walls against biology. We collect memories like we're building a fortress. We construct careers with our names attached, hoping that somehow the label survives even when the person doesn't. And look, none of this is stupid. It's deeply, painfully human. We're trying to leave fingerprints on the world that constantly wipes itself clean. We want evidence that we were here. But here's what doesn't change no matter what you do. Matter doesn't read your resume. Atoms don't attend your funeral. Identity is a story your brain tells, and when the brain stops, the story ends. Whatever you accumulate, whoever you become, however much you achieve, the biological ending remains identical. You return to the same scattered elements as everyone else. No upgrades available. We talk about death like it's a malfunction, like a virus that infected existence, like something that went wrong in the code of life. But that's backwards. Death isn't the error, it's the operating system. Life is the temporary process running on top of it. Think about it this way. Your body is executing incredibly complex operations every single second. Your heart beats about 100,000 times a day. Your lungs process over 11,000 liters of air. Your brain fires roughly 86 billion neurons. All of this requires energy, constant energy. You're basically running high-performance software on borrowed power, and eventually, inevitably, the power source depletes. Not because something broke, because that's how energy functions in reality. The second law of thermodynamics says that entropy, disorder, always increases. Organized systems like your body require constant energy input just to maintain order. The moment that energy stops flowing, disorganization isn't a possibility, it's a certainty. Death is what happens when physics resumes normal operations. Now, here's what's strange. We never actually talk about this. Not really. Death gets mentioned in hospitals, at funerals, in documentaries about people we don't know, in statistics that feel distant. But when was the last time you stood in front of your bathroom mirror and said out loud, "This face will decompose"? Probably never. Definitely not casually over breakfast. We've made death obscene. Not because it's rare, it's literally the only thing that happens to 100% of people. We made it taboo because it won't negotiate. You can't convince death to give you an extension. You can't buy your way out. You can't hack it, optimize it, or sign up for the premium version without it. And the human mind absolutely despises what it cannot bargain with. So instead, we built an entire culture around sophisticated distraction. We have answers for almost everything now. We know stars are made of hydrogen and helium undergoing nuclear fusion. We know the universe is approximately 13.8 billion years old. We can rewrite genetic code using CRISPR. We've mapped the entire human genome, 3 billion base pairs. We've photographed black holes 55 million light years away. We can simulate consciousness in machines. But we cannot tell you with any certainty what happens at 11:47 p.m. on your last night alive. No data, no repeatable experiments, no verified testimonies. No one has come back with notes. Some people believe in heaven, a place where consciousness continues in eternal comfort. Others believe in reincarnation. You come back as something else, cycling through forms until you achieve enlightenment or resolution. Some think there's judgment. Your actions weighed, your destination determined. Others believe in complete erasure. Lights out, consciousness off, nothing, just the end of experience. These are different costumes for the same fear. What if there's actually nothing? What if consciousness is just brain activity, and when the brain stops, experience simply ceases? We can't tolerate that silence. Humans need narrative, we need story, we need explanation. So we invented gods, afterlives, cosmic meanings, moral balances. Not necessarily because they're true, not necessarily because there's evidence, but because disappearing without explanation feels unbearable to a conscious mind. The hard problem of consciousness, why subjective experience exists at all, remains philosophically and scientifically unresolved. We don't know why it feels like something to be you. And we definitely don't know what happens to that feeling when your brain activity flatlines. Maybe death isn't an answer at all. Maybe it's the end of the question. Not punishment, not reward, not revelation. Just the point where thought collapses. And that collapse, more than pain, more than physical suffering, is what genuinely terrifies us. Because we spend our entire lives inside our heads. And imagining the permanent shutdown of that internal world feels impossible. We can imagine pain, we can imagine loss, we cannot imagine non-experience. Now let's talk about something we discuss even less, the violence that doesn't leave marks. We spend enormous energy protecting ourselves from external threats. We lock doors, we buy insurance, we get vaccines, we save money for emergencies, we install security systems. But we rarely acknowledge the threat that lives inside. Your own mind isn't a safe place. It's not designed to make you happy, it's designed to keep you alive, which are two completely different objectives. Your mind remembers every humiliation you desperately want to forget. It replays that conversation from 7 years ago where you said the wrong thing. It forgets the crucial detail you needed yesterday. It invents futures that haven't happened and forces you to relive them. This is called rumination in psychology, repeatedly thinking about negative events. It's directly linked to depression and anxiety disorders. There's also anticipatory anxiety, where your brain creates detailed scenarios of future disasters that will probably never occur. And here's the brutal part. This pain doesn't show. There's no blood, no visible bruises, no medical scan reveals it. So the world expects you to function normally, smile, be productive, perform, as if consciousness were weightless, as if awareness didn't cost anything, as if existing were easy. So many people don't die suddenly. They fade. They shrink themselves down to the minimum biological function required to continue. Alive, but hollow, going through the motions without presence. And the cruel thing is, this pain is socially illegitimate. If you're not visibly broken, people assume you're fine. There's a quiet form of violence that accumulates slowly, daily, invisibly. Fatigue that sleep doesn't fix, anxiety without any present danger, sadness without a clear cause you can point to. Just weight, just exhaustion, just the cost of being aware in a world that isn't designed for awareness.
But death isn't only biological, it's also structural. We don't just live inside bodies, we live inside systems. Economic, social, cultural, technological, and these systems quietly decide who lives longer and who doesn't. Some deaths happen not because medicine doesn't exist, they happen because medicine is too expensive. The treatment is available, it's just locked behind pricing. Right now, someone is dying from an infection we've had antibiotics for since the 1940s, not because the antibiotics don't work, because they couldn't afford the doctor visit. That's not nature killing them, that's policy, that's structure. Research on health equity consistently shows life expectancy gaps of 10 to 20 years between wealthy and poor neighborhoods within the same city. Not different countries, the same city. Social determinants of health, things like access to food, clean water, safe housing, education, healthcare, predict lifespan better than individual health behaviors in many cases. You can eat perfectly and exercise daily, but if you live in an area with high pollution, low safety, and no medical access, your lifespan shrinks anyway. On the other end, people are dying from excess. Too much work, too much processed food engineered to be addictive, too much pressure to perform constantly, too much noise, too much information, too much loneliness disguised as digital connection. We've extended average lifespan without asking whether life became worth living longer. The modern world is excellent at keeping bodies alive and terrible at making existence tolerable. We engineered comfort and manufactured emotional abandonment. We created convenience and isolation. We built global connection and personal loneliness. We achieved longevity without depth, efficiency without purpose, survival without meaning. Your body reminds you constantly that it's temporary, even when your mind dreams of permanence. Right now, while you're sitting here, your body is aging. Not dramatically, just steadily. Cells divide with slight copying errors. DNA accumulates damage from radiation, from oxidation, from random mistakes. Proteins misfold. Telomeres shorten. These are the protective caps on the ends of your chromosomes, and every time a cell divides, they get a little shorter. Eventually, they're too short and the cell stops dividing. This is called cellular senescence. Your body also accumulates senescent cells, zombie cells that don't die but don't function properly either. They just sit there releasing inflammatory signals. All of this is biological aging, discovered through decades of gerontology research. Even when you feel completely healthy, something is quietly deteriorating. And you can optimize, eat nutrient-dense food, exercise regularly, sleep enough, manage stress. These things matter. They reduce risk, they delay decline, but they cannot stop entropy. The body isn't betraying you, it's obeying physics. Life requires constant maintenance, and eventually the cost of maintenance exceeds the system's capacity to provide it. Here's another uncomfortable truth. Nobody chooses where they start. Nobody picks their genes. Nobody selects their birth conditions. Some people are born with hearts that'll beat smoothly for 100 years. Others inherit genetic time bombs. BRCA1 and BRCA2 mutations increase breast cancer risk by 45 to 87%. Huntington's disease, if you inherit the gene, is 100% fatal. Sickle cell disease, cystic fibrosis, familial hypercholesterolemia. The timer started before your first memory formed. We tell this story about equal chances, about everyone having the same opportunity to live long, healthy lives. Then someone gets a genetic test and realizes they began life already compromised. And it's not just genetics. Epigenetics shows that your environment, even before birth, affects how your genes express. Maternal stress, nutrition, toxin exposure during pregnancy can alter gene expression in ways that affect health decades later. This isn't pessimism, it's observation. Death follows statistics, not motivational speeches. It's not democratic, it doesn't care about fairness. Some people are born on third base, others are born already running out of time. So here's the question that emerges from all of this. If everything ends, if everything fails, if nothing lasts, what's the point? Why do anything? Why care? Why try? Maybe the mistake is looking for meaning as something external, permanent, universal. Maybe meaning isn't out there waiting to be discovered like a treasure. Maybe it isn't handed down from the cosmos. Maybe you don't find meaning. Maybe you build it. Temporary, fragile, personal. Not a grand cosmic mission that echoes through eternity, just small local reasons. Moments that don't save the world but make your existence slightly less unbearable. A conversation that didn't feel fake. A moment where all the noise stopped and you actually felt present.
something you created that didn't exist before, a connection that surprised you. These things don't fix mortality, they don't solve death, they don't make you immortal or significant in the grand scheme. They just make the waiting more tolerable. And maybe that's enough. Maybe the point isn't to defeat death. Maybe it's to refuse to live anesthetized while waiting for it.
Maybe spirituality isn't about believing in something higher. Maybe it's about being fully present in the little that undeniably exists right now. Not transcendence, attention. Actually being here, in this moment, in this breath, instead of lost in the past you can't change or the future you can't control. You don't need religion for this. You don't need cosmic reassurance. You just need to stop sleepwalking, to notice, to pay attention to the one thing that's actually real, now. This second, this thought, this sensation. It's already passing, and you'll never get it back. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. From sand we came, to sand we return. But here's the strange thing. This isn't tragic, it's just material continuity. Death doesn't invalidate life, it defines its limits. And limits, paradoxically, give shape. Think about it. If you were eternal, nothing would be urgent. No decision would be final. Every conversation could be postponed indefinitely. Every experience could wait until tomorrow, or next year, or next century. Nothing would matter because everything could always be done later. It's because time is limited that this moment carries weight. It's because everything ends that choices leave traces. It's because you're temporary that any of this feels like something. You don't need to be special, you don't need to be chosen or significant or remembered, but you are temporary. And that's not a curse, that's the only reason anything has tension, the only reason any moment is heavy, the only reason you feel anything at all. When it happens, when silence finally arrives, there won't be regret. Regret requires consciousness, requires a mind processing loss. There won't be fear. Fear needs a future, needs anticipation. There won't be guilt or worry or disappointment. There will just be absence. And maybe, strangely, that absence is peace. Not the peace you experience, not comfort or relief, just the peace of things being finished, complete, done. No more questions, no more uncertainty, no more effort. Just the natural conclusion of a process that was always moving in this direction. Before you leave, understand something. What you just heard isn't content designed to entertain you or fill time between ads. It exists because there are thoughts most people avoid, and silences most platforms don't tolerate. This channel is built for those who feel the weight of existence and still choose to look directly at it, for those who don't need easy hope or fake motivation to keep going. Just honesty, depth, and space to think without being sold simple answers. If this reached you in any way, your attention already matters. Sharing it, leaving a comment, returning for the next one, all of that helps more than you imagine. If this feels like a place you belong, becoming a member sustains this kind of work. Not for status, just to keep depth alive where everything else is rushed. And if you want to support directly, Super Thanks exists for that reason. Not as pressure, just as an option. Whatever you choose, thank you for being here and actually listening. The next video's already waiting.